It's been a decade of political divide in San Fernando West. In the 2010 general election, the constituency voted the COP. 5 years later, it reverted to the PNM. But this is a city standing on the brink of an uncertain future. The closure of Petrotrin back in November 2018 had ripple effects. The shockwaves were felt from high-end business owners straight down to farm workers, which makes this 2020 general election even more pivotal for those voting in their next representative. The top of San Fernando Hill provides a spectacular view of the city. But on the ground, it's a totally different story. Our story starts in A Pier, once the economic driver of the Southlands. It's difficult to talk about San Fernando West these days and not talk about Petrotrin. Over the last 2 years, almost every facet of southern life has changed because of the closure of Petrotrin. Fazad Rojan was one of 5,500 employees to have lost his job when Petrotrin's refinery closed in November 2018.
All my working career was at Petrotrin, from apprentice from 1995 to 1999, then get temporary employment in 1999, get permanent in 2009, and then the closure of 2018, when my life was set. When you get a permanent job, you can go to a bank or a mortgage finance company, so you can take out a house, so you can see about your family. All these things went down to the drain.
But you're, 41 years? You're supposed to be, or at least half of those workers were supposed to go back to Petrotrin, or at least a new Petrotrin, Heritage and Barrier.
We was promised that, right? Not all the workers went back to Barrier or Petrotrin. Some of the workers was chosen to go back, some was just left on the side.
For former Petrotrin employees like Fazad Rojan in their early 40s, they're now roughly halfway through a mortgage.
Some cannot meet, they don't know what happening after December coming here. They don't know how they're paying their mortgages. Some have committed suicide, right? Which was never made on the news. So basically is a lot of stress.
To see the full impact of Petrotrin's closure, you only need to take a 10-minute drive to High Street, once the beating heart of business in San Fernando. I've assembled some of the city's longest-serving business owners.
The city of San Fernando now, it seems to be dying. It's no life in the city.
Judith Kunjan has run a fashion store on Mukarapo Street for 2 decades. This is the worst she has ever seen business.
They need to brighten up the place, provide parking. We need proper parking, because if we don't have proper parking, people cannot shop. People don't feel safe, they don't feel comfortable.
The rise of malls like South Park, C3 and Gulf City hasn't helped High Street either. Kayam Mohammed has been at this jewelry store for over 25 years. In his own words, with Petrotrin's closure and in a COVID-19 world, luxuries of jewelry aren't important anymore.
What I have found as well is that people now take their older stuff and try to refurbish it in order to give gifts. They no longer would want to buy new stuff. It's a very elite probably will do have that opportunity, but the normal small jewelers and so forth in High Street, it is very difficult for them.
What Deodat Ramdas feels this city needs is an urgent plan to stimulate growth. He's been a chartered accountant in San Fernando for 35 years and sees a ripple effect. No jobs from the government for contractors mean no jobs for workers on the ground.
I have seen about a 50% reduction in business activity. Again, contractors are a real constraint because the government is not giving work. Petrotrin has closed, so a lot of contractors are no longer there. They have a lot of equipment, a lot of loans to pay, and nothing is happening that keeps the ball rolling.
And with the energy capital now reduced to a shadow of its former self, it means engineers like Sunil Ganesh now look outside of TNT for their opportunities.
I think if the borders open up, then there would be some movement of people, go to and from Trinidad to the other areas, Suriname, Guyana, other countries, because we have quite a talent pool of expertise in LNG and the oil and gas business, right?
One street away, Ashmead Mohammed runs this small bar. Coming out of COVID, he tells us whichever candidate wins San Fernando West, It will be their job to jumpstart the economy. Bar owners, he says, haven't been helped much.
I thought we would have a reduction in the license fee that we haven't got anything of. We had to pay our full license.
And he's not the only one who feels he's paying for something he's not getting. Here at the San Fernando market, the common complaint is that illegal street vendors have an unfair advantage.
Business is very bad because they're allowing people to be on high street and all over the place. Business is very bad. We just paying money to upkeep this market.
I'm seeing all these people inside the road selling the same thing that I'm doing without no health regulations, no restrictions whatsoever. Why are they allowed to sell on high street?
Everything just haywire right now. Because front of the market have no vending sign right through and they still vending. And the police not doing nothing about it.
The frustrations of these marginal voters have forced them to contemplate forgetting both the UNC and the PNM.
Well, it had the Progressive Party, we could vote for them, the youths, but as if they're able. And they have some other Progressive Party going on, right, with Nikolai. Right, so we don't mind if we get somebody good to stand up, but nobody, to have nobody making the grade right now, none. The army might have to serve.
After a decade of both the COP and the PNM, this marginal seat that has decided the fate of many general elections seems to be tired of going to and fro.